Assalamu Alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, we are not looking at my portfolio, we're not looking at stocks, we are going to look at something I'm really excited about to share with you guys. If you like this kind of videos, please just give it a like. It really helps the channel, it helps the community, it reaches more people. So InshaAllah, just give that like button. If you haven't subscribed, there's a lot of you that watch the videos that are not subscribed yet, so subscribe to the channel. Like what I'm doing here is, I'm not a financial advisor, but what I'm doing here is just sharing my journey. Okay, you've seen me build this portfolio. I think I started this channel December of last year, 2020, not last year, 2021. Okay, I think that's around here is when I started this. Okay, not 2020, 2020, December 2020, around here. And I think at the time it was about £20,000 in that. Right now I've doubled that. I've maxed my ISA account again, the second year basically in a row. That's the plan again, to max it by 2023. I've been transparent, okay, so, and I want to share my journey. I show you what I'm buying, what I'm selling, why I'm buying, and obviously look at the stock market in general. But today's video, we're not going to look at that. We are going to look at properties, okay. I bought recently a property and I want to share that with you. Before I do this, I don't want you to think like I'm bragging about what I've done and where I am right now. Okay, it's literally every penny that I put into investment is money that my wife and I have saved for, basically just to put into the stock market, to invest in property and so on. So we have been frugal about our spending. We've made sure we save quite a bit of our money every single month, and everything we're doing here is for the future of our children. Okay, it's not just for me, it's not just for my wife, it's for the children, definitely. Obviously, InshaAllah, but at some point it would be nicer to have that financial freedom so we can spend more time with them and so on. So yeah, just let's have a look at, before we look at the property and we're going to talk about the actual properties, I just wanted to share with you a couple of things. Okay, November basically 2021, the UK Housing Price Index released this. And as you can see, because of COVID and because the UK government made that decision to get rid of the stamp duty for that year, the housing prices kind of shoot up. And September 2021 is when I started, looking into property. We have been saving for quite a few years now. But that's when I decided to look into it. And unfortunately, it wasn't the great timing because the housing prices were shooting up at that point. And as you can see, the average house price was basically £271,000. That was £25,000 higher than basically a year before. Same thing happened January of 2022. Okay, the average UK house price was 274,000, okay, and that's up 24,000 a year before. Since then it came down a little bit, but it's still not as not as basically as low as it was before COVID. Okay, and it's kind of going up and down, and despite the fact that we were, there was lack of, the economy wasn't doing that well because of the stamp duty, and a lot of people probably had a lot of cash lying around. People actually start buying. But now when you look at it, it was going up for a while. Okay, when you look at the different regions, so the UK Housing Price Index, when you look at that, basically the average household gone up from January of 2022, from December 2021 to January of 2022. It's gone down a little bit. Again, it looks like 2022 is basically came down. Just that month, it actually gone up. Okay, so it's basically gone up again. So February to March is actually gone up by about 5,000. When you look at the Halifax House Price Index, is also kind of similar. So what I'm trying to say to you is this wasn't a great time for me to purchase this property. But what I've realized is, since I bought this house, so this house is in Leicester, okay, city center Leicester, and this was investment property. And what we were looking for is price target. Our price target was from £60,000 to £80,000. free, basically, so to buy in cash, sorry, not free. Can you imagine? In cash. That was the plan from day one. So 2021, we were looking at loads of different apartments in the city center, Leicester city center. And guess what? It was about 60,000, 65,000. But as soon as the stamp duty was basically stopped, it went up from 60 to 65 to almost 70 to 75 and more. So by the time we got to looking around, and the reason we chose Leicester, by the way, is because we've got a lot of family there. We've been there so many times, and it's quite close to Leicester, to London. So it's 1 hour away from London. So that's one of the reasons we decided to go to Leicester. Now, I've put the same criteria, okay, that we were doing before, up to 80,000. And right now, genuinely, there's about 2 or 3 apartments that fits that category that basically are not, basically, there's a couple of houses that have cladding and all sorts of issues, but the actual legitimate houses that have that sort of a price is actually gone up. Right now, the same building or the same area, you're looking at about 80 plus. So it's gone up since we actually put down our our initial offer. So in a way, so that's a very good thing. So let's look at the numbers, okay? So we are buying this in cash. It took us a few years, obviously, to save this money, okay? My wife and I both have decent jobs, and we have saved every penny for quite a few years. While we were saving, I was also putting money into the stock market, but because I realized, because of inflation and all that stuff. So the property value was £70,000. We purchased it it was £75,000 initially, that's what they were looking for. We negotiated down to £70,000. The solicitors were basically, we paid them £1,351. And the survey, we paid £500. So we had a solicitors in September, we hired one. And then, around November, end of November, their system went down completely. And because of that, we had to hire new solicitors. And then because of that, we already, by the time we paid the survey for them to check in, their whole system went down. We went to new solicitors and they said they will also have to do a new survey, okay? Because they're looking for different things, blah, blah, blah. So we had to pay new. So that's why we paid £1,000. So we lost about £500 because of the older solicitors. But I think because of the timing, whatever, Alhamdulillah, everything happens for a reason. But at the end of the day, I think it kind of helped us to actually speed things up by actually paying getting a new solicitors. Okay, so total we paid £72,351 for this purchase. Now, when we break this down, so this is an apartment. So apartments are not freehold, so the leasehold. So someone else is basically owns the land. So the service charge for the building is £1,042 a year. Ground rental is £1,150. So total of, including the management fee. So we have hired someone to look after the property because the property is it had someone already living in it. Great guy. We thought, you know what, let's just keep it the way it is. So he's going to stay in it. And the fee that we have to pay for the management fee, the company the estate agent that going to look after the rent and all that stuff, basically will be about £546 a year. So when you add these three up together, this is what you get. That 5% is just there for now for me, just to kind of, because repairs can come out of nowhere. So we factored that in, and that should be about 5%. So that should be about £300 basically. But this doesn't include that right now. Okay, so this part is basically what that shows. So £1,738 is what we will be paying every single year for the service charge, ground rental, and management fees. Now, monthly, it works out this much. Okay, it works out about £148. The property is rented right now £495. We can increase the rent because I've been doing a little bit of research. The area is actually now booming. There is a city center. There's so many universities and shops and restaurants and all sorts of things going on around there. So right now, I think we can get about £550 to £600 per calendar month. But right now, I just want to keep that tenant in because he seems a really nice guy. And at the same time, it would have delayed the whole process by another 2 months if we have asked him to leave, because we have to give him 2 months in advance before we can ask him. So it would have delayed the whole process. So we said, let's keep him there. And I think I'm going to keep him there for maybe another year or two and see how it goes, because he's genuinely seems a nice dude, and so we'll see. And then yearly, so this is how much basically the rent, when you times that by 12, this is what you get, almost £6,000 a year. And the net income after we pay all of that will give us about £4,201. So this is basically the money that we take home every single month, and that works every single year, and that works out about £346. So we are taking home £364. I expect that to be in my account in basically 30th of every single month going forward from now. So from April onwards, £346 should be basically put in my account. Now that works out, okay, the yield, okay, the yield itself, so the gross rental yield, okay, works out about 8%, which is really, really good. But the net rental yield is what you should be interested, because that is just you have to factor all the expenses and so on. So 5.8%. That is really good. That's return on investment. So this is what you will get. Remember, we always say the stock market, you get about 7 to 10% every year, but that's not guaranteed. This is guaranteed. Okay, as long as someone is living in that apartment, okay, that's what we will be expecting every single year. So this is it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Honestly, genuinely, to save up this much money, it took us a long time. But we wanted to do this. We didn't want to get into mortgage and all that stuff, because I've got quite a few friends who were like, why are you doing this? You can actually get 2-3 properties if you use this as a deposit and get basically leverage it, to go to the bank and get halal mortgage and do it that way. And I think that made sense at the time, but I think this made more sense to us, okay? Because remember, I want to be able, God forbid, if anything happens to me tonight, this property belongs to my children. Okay, my wife and children will inherit that, and that's it. So at least that they have something that they can fall back into. They have the stock market and so on. So that's one of the reasons I didn't want to do this. But inshallah, going forward, I might start looking into leveraging the banks and see from Sharia compliance side of things, looking to companies like Rayan Bank and so on. There's a few banks basically that I've actually done a bit of research on, and I would like to know how they work and how they actually all of that mortgage stuff soon, inshallah. But this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Honestly, it took us a very, very long time. Now, if you're thinking into getting like the property ladder and all that stuff, is quite expensive, and it takes for a long time to save this kind of money. But don't be disheartened, because it takes ages. Honestly, it took us years to put this money together. And not only that, I had to change jobs to actually increase my salary so I can actually be able to afford this. I've got a video coming up, hopefully in the next couple of days, to kind of talk about that side of things. So for example, when it comes to saving money, what you should do and shouldn't do, and how long basically things take, or whatever, the FIRE movement and all of that stuff, I'm going to put, basically I've already done the research on the video. I'm going to put that together in the next couple of days and share it with you guys. But so this is all I wanted to share with you guys. So we started the process in September of 2021. We just got the keys in just end of March. So it took us a very long time because of the solicitors. If the solicitors, the first one, everything was perfect, we could have got the keys end of November, early December. Okay, and that was basically the plan. But it has to be delayed. It basically had to be delayed another 3 to 4 months, only because they have to read new solicitors. They were really, really good. I'm glad I went with them at the end, because they were very efficient and very thorough. Okay, every single thing you can think of, they actually did it. And I paid them £1,351 for this, so basically for the troubles. And obviously I paid £500 for the survey. All of that basically came about 72. So it probably will take me, this $72,000 will probably to break even, whatever, will probably take me 17, 18 years or whatever to get my money back. But right now, I'm happy the fact that we've got a rental income every single month. That's a passive money. I don't have to do anything, okay? If I had leveraged, it will probably be easier. But the fact that it actually belongs to us, and hopefully I can leave this for the children, inshallah, in the long run, that is something I'm excited about. I'm really, really excited about this investment. Now I feel like a little bit free to actually put more money into the stock market and then start thinking about the next project, inshallah. All of this is possible because I genuinely work my butt off every single day. My wife is doing the same. We're saving every penny we can to make sure that we basically our future and the children's future are taken care of. And if you're starting now and you're quite young, genuinely, if you have a job, start saving. Okay, I'm going to talk about more about that in the next video, so I don't want to talk about this a lot about it now, but I just wanted to let you know this was possible because we were able to save every single month. We were able to actually track our investment, our basic expenditure, and so on. I hope you enjoy this kind of transparency. Take care. Assalamu Alaikum.